Well, it was going to happen eventually, wasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? It was always going to happen eventually. Welcome to the outside of my hotel room, looking out over the street here in Tenerife. It was always going to happen, and for me, even though it was a loss, quite a heavy one, with a lot of goals, I don't think there's any need to overreact. People saying alarm bells ringing, shot her out, we need all this, all that. It's don't listen to them. And if you're thinking that yourselves, then well, shame on you. Because it was just one of those days where everything West Brom hit went in. It was, and we hit the bar twice. And then as soon as we hit the bar, they went up the other end and scored. The free kick that led to one of their goals, where we sort of half cleared it and then fair long shot. That was never a free kick for me. That was never a free kick. The penalty was, as a car goes past, the penalty was a penalty. I have no doubt in that. I think Louis Coyle was lucky not to get sent off there. I think the referee was distracted at the fact that Figueiredo was right in his ear and booked him instead, even though it was Coyle who made the foul and already on a booking. The first one was just unlucky. John Swift, typical. He scored. He's been useless for them so far. I was chatting to a West Brom fan around the pool this morning. He's been useless for them so far. Today, their best player on the pitch by a mile. Karlan Grant, that West Brom fan said to me, look, he's the only striker we've got. He's the best one we've got, but he can barely finish. Goes and scores against us. He loves a goal against us, Karlan Grant. He's scored a lot against us. The fair long effort was a good one, but then again, it was never a free kick. But just everything they hit went in. They hit the post. Ingram made a couple of good saves. Nothing Matty Ingram could do about any of the goals, by the way. Nothing. So before anyone starts jumping on his back. Encouraging to see that we're still fighting, though. We're still fighting for every ball. We're still giving it a go. And Estupinian getting those 2 consolation goals was nice. He's now the top scorer in the Championship, and him and Tete combining was encouraging to see. And then, of course, the elephant in the room is Ozan Tufan. Injuries are what have let us down in this game. We've got a very, very thin squad at the moment due to injuries, and our best and most creative player going off with no firepower on the bench to replace him with or to change the game when we go a goal down, when we're 2 goals down, right at the start of the second half, even when we're 3 down. None of that. Cynic, still not seen him because he's injured. Traore, not announced because he's injured. Longman, injured. Wilkes wasn't included in the squad today. And when you bear in mind how much Shota has been saying, look, I want him to fight for his place, I think that says Malik's on his way. I personally think that says Malik Wilkes is on his way. Because for me, yes, Randell's the starter, but when things aren't going right, Malik, he scored. He was the reason we went up. He scored 19 goals in League One. That's the one. That's one that, even though last year he wasn't great, he's one that you'd think, right, he might be able to come on and change the game because he's an attacking player and he's scored goals in black and amber before. But then, look, Seri injured. That's another creative player, a player who likes to have the ball, who can create chances. And, you add that to, like I say, Cynic, Longman, Tyler Smith injured, who've not got a real backup striker when both Estupinian and Tete are on the pitch at the same time. The Dervisolu deal and the Pelkas deal are still being worked on. They're going to get done, but there's complications in both. I wouldn't be too discouraged today by the fact that Halil Dervisolu was on the bench for Brentford. I wouldn't be too discouraged by that at all. It's just because the move is taking time. But Salah, Ul Adam Hand, that deal's done. He's a Hull City player. And in case you didn't see my Instagram last night, Troops, who formerly of AFTV, is staying at my hotel. So I asked him about Salah, and he said, look, I said when I saw loan, I thought, all right, that's cool. When I saw loan to buy, he says he was fuming, which I think says that he's potentially going to. He said, look, you'll see. He said to me and my dad this morning, you'll see. So that's encouraging, and he'll come in against Norwich. Obviously, no LAR as well. That's a blow. But I think, you know, once we get these players back, it's a team. It's like I say, it's a thin team that has played 4 games in 11 days. 4 games in 11 days has caught up with them. So we'll just have to hope. And by the sounds of things, well, from what I've been told anyway, they're taking their time in nursing players back because they don't want a repeat of what's happened at the start of the season where players are falling down left, right and centre. So, like James Scott, he said to me, opening game of the season, hopefully 2 weeks. It's been almost 4 now. So is that selection? Maybe, but you'd think with all these injuries he'd get in the team, but I think that's more to do with, right, he's not fully fit. He's not fully fit. And, you know, Vaughan Colville, Callum Jones, young kids. But, again, nothing from the bench at all. So, yeah, a loss was always going to happen. No team goes unbeaten in the Championship, never. And the result was always going to happen. It's just a shame that injuries have caught up with us and that us and Tufan, you know, up until that point when Tufan came off, we were playing well. But what can you do? All right, and that's it from me. I've been talking for far too long. See you later, everyone. Take care. I'll be back for the Coventry game. Matchday vlog coming then. Up the Tigers. Goodbye.